Alrighty, what it do, y'all? It's your boy Big Poppy B-Rye. As y'all can see, we're coming from y'all live from San Antonio. It is what it is. Apartment room 1414. You know, I tell nobody. Y'all don't know where we live, but we out here partying, bullying, living the life of some young 20-year-olds, smoking some weed every day, partying, bullying, chilling, trying to survive the Rona. How you been feeling, bro?
I've been feeling good, man. There's no complaints on my side. Shit could be better, but it definitely could be worse. So
That's definitely true.
no complaints.
Everything could always be worse, bro. We could be fucking, I don't know, in like a third world country, but instead we out here living life, enjoying things. You smoke weed.
I actually don't, man.
That's
Used
good.
to, but
Back in the day.
I don't got nothing against it.
For sure. For sure. Still have 2 years. Damn. It's lit. We'll go over some of the notes I have.
Okay.
So what do you do for a living?
Well, right now, I just work retail, man, school, the whole 9 yards. Waiting to do some grad school, see what that's about, see if that's the move or not.
I feel. School, how far along are you?
Well, I just graduated, so got about 2 more years roughly before I can get my master's. Not sure where I want to go yet, but fuck it. We got time, you know. You don't gotta commit to nothing too soon.
Most definitely, we're still young. We're making hella decisions every day
Exactly.
that affect our lives. We, nothing's set in stone. We're doing one thing one day. Next day we come out. We could be mixing it up.
You gotta just find your path, bro. Just roll with it. The path for everybody, you gotta figure it out.
Most definitely. I feel that. So, what is your major?
I had graduated with 2 degrees. One of them within criminal justice, one of them within public administration. You know, I'm not really a big fan of the criminal justice one. You know, there's a lot of fucked up shit going on right now in that whole little realm of the world. I don't think I'm trying to be a part of that.
True. You don't want to be in the fix of the solution. You don't want to be a part of the solution.
The solution is there, but I think I'm gonna wait till that like work field has a better rap right now with all the whole Black Lives Matter, police brutality, all that stuff. I don't want to be lumped in with the other side if it comes down to that, you know?
True. I feel that. You go out there and you go protest?
I actually didn't go because I was at work, but I probably would have.
You supported from
Of
both.
course, of course.
You have to,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
You know, I'm black myself. I can't be rocking with the other side.
Of course. Yeah, of course, right? Like you fuck those
Yeah,
people.
that is not gonna be a good look for myself.
This man Matt over here texting me. Fuck off. Alright, forget. You got my buddy. I was smoking your buddy. I forgot. Oh wait. So with all that stuff's going on right now, what have you like really felt like has been keeping you like I guess modest or like focus headed? There's a lot of distractions out there. You got a lot of like downtime. What like have you been doing to like keep that whole productive or keep yourself moving forward? Or where do you see?
See, what I always told myself, man, is like, even if you don't have it all figured out, you don't have to know exactly what you want to do with your life. I'm only 22, but as long as you have a certain direction of where you're going to aim yourself, just lead yourself down that certain path, even if it's not like fully planned out. As long as you're heading somewhere, you're doing something.
Most definitely.
So
I heard like a similar thing like that back in the day. I went to like church camp a lot more, and like they had this like, it was like, you're a dumb kid, but like it was a better like metaphor for like saying like how like if you're doing good things, you're doing good. So like imagine you and like God are in the boat, or like you in your life, right? If you like at least still moving that hoe and you're moving like towards the right, like the right way, then you're never going wrong. But if you're like if you're like fighting him and you're going the other way and he's going one way, then like you're fucking contradicting that hoe. So like, just ride the path out. Like, let that hoe flow.
exactly.
Just hope that there's not a waterfall at the end of it, right?
Exactly. See, like I see that there's some people my age, they're trying to plan out their entire life before it even starts.
True.
there's nothing wrong about that if you can plan it out that far and you can make it happen by any means, like do it. But like I don't like to think that far ahead. I like to aim myself towards where I know that I want to go, and then just let life bring me in the right direction. That's one thing that I'm always confident in, is that life will play out on its own. It'll lead me to where it wants me to be.
No, definitely. Yeah, I follow that
I don't have to
100%.
stress myself out about what if I did this, what if I did that. These are the cards that I play every day, and I know it's gonna take me somewhere. So that's all
Well,
that matters.
that's true. Someone was telling me, what was it yesterday? The best like bet you can take is like on yourself. So at the end of the day, like no matter what the hell else is happening, like shit's gonna happen despite if you're there or not. And it's like what you make out of that hoe. Like lemons to lemonade, blah blah blah. If you want to fucking overdo that hoe, make some like gourmet lemonade. That's on you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we all get dealt shitty hands, or we all get dealt hands, and like there's people who have came from like shit like nothing, and they're over there like making millions now or doing whatever they want to do,
Uh
and
huh.
like you
Yeah.
gotta you strive for that hoe every day.
That's another thing, bro. I don't ever complain about the cards I was dealt, about the life that I live, because the way I see it, I always think on the bright side of things. That's just who I am. So the way I see it is, what like why can I complain about the life I live when I know that there's people out there living lives that I would deem way less than my own, and they're still happy.
Shoot,
If they're happy about the lives they live, I feel like I can't complain about the one I have. It's only right.
most definitely.
But I mean, that's not how everybody thinks sometimes. But like, that's just me, I guess.
Shoot, and you live one hell of a life. You're not even originally from here. Where are you from?
Man, I was from a whole lot of spots, man. My dad, he was in the armed forces growing up, so we moved all over the place. For Texas, I came from Virginia. There was like Michigan, England, Germany, all that stuff.
All right, which one would you say like is your like favorite or like your personal favorite?
Low key, my personal favorite. I've been all over the world, but my personal favorite probably be Virginia. I'm not gonna lie. Sounds kind of strange, but just the vibes there, man. Like
Shoot,
I'm really big on like nature and seeing like a good scenery.
shoot.
A lot of those spots had a nice sceneries to them, nice environment, but Virginia, man, it was just different.
It's on another level.
You get all four seasons. Like you get nice lush trees, nature. I could drive 10 minutes. I can go to the beach. I can go on a day cruise. There's so much
Damn.
stuff. Like you had options. I don't know, man. Things like that. I don't see around Texas as much as I thought that I would. But then again, when I first moved here, I thought Texas was gonna be a whole lot different than what it is.
That's true. There's just so much shit, bro. Like we're like you have to imagine we take like this little chunk like that like little bit of like Texas, and Texas is fucking massive, which is
Yeah.
like a crazy thing. But yeah, not. I definitely feel like whenever you're like in a smaller area like that, you have a lot more like people in like a condensed area.
You
I guess.
see everything.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
see everything where everybody's like real close together. Whereas in Texas, you have like big fat cities which are like kind of condensed, but they're like separated. Whereas I'm like, so that's
Everything's
really cool. Yeah,
far.
everything's far as fuck, bro. Like,
Yeah. No, yeah. I still have to explore Texas. That's something I've told myself I have to do. It's been like 8 years now or so. I still haven't seen a lot of the spots around here that I really want to.
true, true. You do a lot of traveling.
Not as much as I used to, man. I want to, but I don't want to travel like alone, man. I gotta find
True.
somebody to travel with.
Circumstances kind of change things up
Yeah,
too as of
and
late,
to
right?
of these past year, the whole coronavirus has been putting a damper on a lot of things.
Where's your like place you like really want to go to like once all this shit's over?
Are we talking like within the states or like
Bro,
international, bro?
wherever your heart like leads you, I want to know
Bro, I really want to see New Zealand.
why.
I don't know, man. I saw it was like I don't know if it was like a Vine or TikTok, something like that, bro. It was like somebody like kind of giving us a little tour of New Zealand. Place looked stunning. It looked beautiful, bro.
Hell yeah,
I
that
really, you know, like I like the nature vibes. That shit had it all, and it looked amazing. I was like, I'd never been somewhere tropical either. That's something that's also on my bucket list. I've never been anywhere like that.
I definitely have been tropical. Tropical is really nice because you get to see all the different kinds of waters and like every beach. It's so weird to say it, but like every beach is like different because like the way the water hits the rocks or like the sand or like different kinds of sand.
Uh huh.
I've personally been like Hawaii and Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands, I didn't get to see the beach because since it's an island, I don't believe it has like the same kind of beach that we assume a beach because it hasn't like eroded away
Uh
like
huh.
the sand and stuff. But that one, we gotta go in the water. Water is like really clear. I had a stingray almost kill me. Craziest shit ever. Man,
Damn.
I'm sitting out there. I went with a cruise with a friend, right? And my friend's dad had got him an excursion, so I'm assuming I'm asleep. Well, he wakes me up instead and is like, "Hey, you want to go?" Like Brian don't want to wake up. Yeah, his name's Brian too. So he's like, "You want to go?" Like he don't want to wake up, and I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." I was like, "Let me just put on some clothes." So I like get up, go, and I'm like going out, and there's a whole like they take you out into like the middle of the ocean, and like you get out in the water, and the water like I'm pretty tall, but the water's only about like a little less than my like chest, right? And the giant, massive like stingrays just swimming everywhere, like on your feet, like touching you, and like you're like, what the fuck? So we're going around, like we get like an hour there, and about like halfway through, I'm like just sitting around, and the dude like finds like a little baby stingray. It was probably like only about yay big, but that one was the only one that still so happened to have its bar still. So we like look at it, we're like, okay, blah 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 blah. I turn around, and as soon as I turn around, a massive stingray, like as wide as my hands, just pulls up into my face, man, and like swallows me. I'm like, oh shit! I go backwards, and the dude had the stingray, and the barbed wire was out, and he like just yanked the fucking stingray, and I like almost fucking fell like right on top of the stingray, and he was like, hey, you need to be careful. I was like, bro, it's time for me to get the fuck out. Steve
No,
Irwin
yeah,
had ass.
Steve Irwin, yeah.
Yeah.
For that, I ain't fucking with no stingrays. I mean, only at the zoo, but like, nah.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah.
Like you get a little pet 'em, but nah, bro. Tropical, hands down. Like some of the nicer things. Jamaica had really nice beaches.
Oh yeah,
They got
I
all
really want to
kinds
go
of.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an experience definitely. The from the weed to the fucking people selling you shit on the street to just like everything that's
Their
kind of there.
culture,
The culture, yeah, the vibes is really nice and like I didn't really get to explore too much because like you only get docked for like the day or whatever,
Yeah.
and like I'm only fucking like 16 at the time, not even like 14 at the time, so
There's not much you could have
I
done.
didn't have a lot of options to do stuff by myself. But
You know what? We have to go back nowadays, bro.
yeah, honestly things are cheap once everything opens back up. We're kind of settling in with our own like money and shit, and that definitely be like fucking an adventure, right?
Uh huh. You know somewhere else that I really been wanting to go? I want to see Asia. At least Japan. I really think culturally their vibes there are just different. They have a different culture that's like far more different than anything from the other parts of the entire world. And I think to have a chance to explore that and to learn about that, that's what my thing. I really like history, things like that. I like to know like how the world got to the point that I live in, you know?
Uh huh.
So places like that who preserve their cultures that immensely, I feel like that would be a great experience to get to indulge in and see what it's about for myself.
Sure, sure. I'm really fascinated, honestly, with like the whole Asian culture, because like
Yeah.
it's just like I guess any other culture. You have like different like spectrums, and they all kind of have their own little individual thing. But like I don't know, it's just like it feels like such like another world compared to like ours. Like you know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
And like it's definitely an experience. And then like there's such a fascination I think here in like the states of like the anime and all that kind of
Oh
shit.
yeah.
And we like a lot of people have that fascination, and like that's definitely something that we've like gotten from over there. That's like become really popular over here. So it's really nice that you go over there and you get to see like things that like where they originally came from. Like Pokemon, I'm a fucking huge Pokemon fan.
Uh-huh.
Man, they got massive Pokemon stores over there. Bro, I would fucking lose my shit, dude.
No, yeah, bro. Like, I don't know if that's just me being like from the state side. Growing up over here, I assume that like, oh, like over there, like they're so awesome. They live their lives in a whole different way. Over there, they could probably think the same thing about us. But
Of course.
from me looking out, I don't know. I just like feel like I'm amazed with the things that they do there, just like culturally, and even then they're not even trying to go do it. That's the way that they
That's
live
just
their
they
life.
just live their life.
That's their way of life, and I'm like, wow, I want to see what that's about. Even to
True.
them, it could be like, oh, like this life's boring. This is what I do. It's what we always do.
Yeah,
But
it's just like their day to day things. I find
yeah,
that really fascinating too because like even though like that's like a bigger spectrum, you see that like in smaller spectrums, just in like people you meet in the day to day, and you're like, you really live your life like this, like
literally. That's one thing too, bro. Like that's I think about that every day. Like when I go on a some sort of road trip, I'm traveling through the countryside, and I kind of stop in those little small, pass through towns. You make two stops and you're out of it. I stop there and I see that there's still people living their lives there. They have a whole life built around this small shit show town that I'm never gonna come through
coming through ever again.
ever
Like,
again. I'm like, wow, somebody really lives here, bro, and
true.
they enjoy it. Like, it's crazy to me.
I think about that hoe because if I'm like honest with you, like 100%, that like both my parents came from like a really small town, that little shit town, Robstown. Not like to dog on it, but like you know what I mean. Damn, like fucking run it, but like it's just not like a big city compared to like something like here, you
No,
know.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
And ever since I was like little, I lived in Austin first, and then I came over here. So all I've known is like big cities, you know what I mean? So to me, to even fathom, like I've gone back home multiple times because I call it home because I was born there too. But what do you call it? To even go back over there and like to be like comprehend that, like I still have family that lives over there, and I'm like, man, y'all don't like we're not that far from y'all. Like y'all can just
I can come over
y'all can come
here.
over here,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean? Like you still have family and friends over here.
Uh,
Why not? You know, and some people are like so mindseted on like not doing that. Even like some of my boys that I know that like I met in school that I'm like, bro, you could have like such a better opportunity. Like he's out there struggling making $10 an hour, and I'm like, for what? Like you go work at a fucking. I think he works at a warehouse for like $10 an hour. Bro, you could work.
at like the Amazon
Bro,
warehouse here
yeah,
for
and you make
like,
15, 16
yeah,
dollars an hour, and I mean that's kind of something bad on our economy at the same time. But like,
that's
that's
just
just
the way life
that's
is
just
right
kind of how the
now.
way life is. Yeah, yeah, honestly. So like the cost of living over there, I mean, $10 an hour might seem like a lot to him, but $10 an hour over here, man, fuck, I wouldn't even be able to pay my rent, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, 10. Yeah, no. But like, I don't know. I feel like too, a lot of people they get kind of complacent with like
Just where they're at in
with
life.
their at in life. That's one thing I try to make sure that I don't ever fall into that kind of hole. I know it's hard to get out. For some people, they might not even realize that they're being complacent with life until somebody tells them, until reality shows them like, hey, you can be doing a lot much more with your life. Or if you're like if you're going down a pretty easy going path, you'd be like, okay, it's really not that bad. But that's the thing. Usually, it's you that kind of like determines that, and if you have like a flawed view of like as what like complacent is in your eyes, you could really be doing bad, or you could be doing good. But
But some people just lack that like
the
I don't
drive,
nah it. Would you say dry? I would say not even like almost like common sense, but they lack that like that ability to perceive that like they're not like
they're not living their
living
life
to
to
their
their
full
fullest.
like potential.
No, yeah, definitely.
Because I think that's like a big problem. Not a big problem, but I think it's a huge thing you see in like older generation people. Like these older generation people are so like they're so single minded. I guess is the like way
No,
of
for
saying.
sure,
You know
hundred
what I mean?
percent.
They're so set in their ways, and like you try to give them like an other option, and they're like, no, I don't even want to fucking hear it. You
They're
know
not.
what I mean?
Yeah, they won't
So
even hear it. Yeah.
yeah, so then it's like, yeah, like you know what I mean, and it's so weird because like they don't understand that. Like I'll go over like this little like fucking I guess like little thing. My fucking aunt, she was over there screaming at me, telling me like, why am I fucking sitting here doing like YouTube or fucking like whatever I'm doing, right? And I'm like, because like that's what I want to do at the end of the day, right? And she's like, well, you're not gonna have like another job, and I was like, nah. If I like trust myself, I don't think I'm gonna need another job, right? Like that's not the point. Like I can't
Uh-huh.
like if this is really what I want to do, I can't be like dedicating half my time to something else or like more than half your time. You get a normal day job, you're spending 40 hours there a week out of however fucking many hours, right?
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like that's eating a big chunk of your time, and like that's 40 hours on the clock. Forget about like a lunch break, the hour it takes for you to get dressed and shit before. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're wasting so much
and the
of your
time
day.
that you sleep, like,
Yeah, and then you take off that. That's a third of your time. Like you don't have that much time to do both of them, and so like you know what I mean. And it's like, but why not follow like something you want to do? Like there's something for everybody. Like if you love fucking making pizza, go make the best pizza. If you like fucking making stupid like basketball shots, you can go out there and make stupid basketball shots and record them and fucking become
someone's
a
gonna find you.
multi-millionaire on fucking YouTube. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
that like they're so single minded in like, oh, you need this, 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 and this, or like you need to do this, this, and this, and this, and it's like,
They're like
open
const-
up.
Yeah, you gotta understand that like they're from a whole different generation, bro. They're used like we see our parents now who might be like, oh, like all you gotta do, you gotta find yourself a nice job. You gotta stay with them forever. They'll take care of you. You know, you just work until you don't have to work no more, and then you're fucking 65 and can't happen no more. That shit's whack. But and then you see think like, okay, their parents had to be even worse. They're like, oh, I've probably been working in the fucking factory since I was 16. He did that his whole life. You gotta find yourself a nice job and you gotta stick with it. They can't fathom somebody having a fucking livable wage and lifestyle off of YouTube or streaming, playing video games. I see that too. A lot of like the kids who stream like the Fortnite games, things like that, their parents are like bashing on them and shit. Like they don't care about it.
More
You
so.
know, I'm like, come on, man. I feel like at some point you gotta have faith in your kids. That's one thing. You gotta let your. That's what I think, though. I don't have kids, so I can't really tell how it is. But that's what I would think. You gotta have faith in your kids and back them behind anything that they want to pursue. You gotta be there for them if they fall short. You gotta definitely be there for them if they hit big. You know, it's like your kids like they
Yeah,
need support. You gotta support them, man.
most definitely, bro. Most definitely. What do you gonna call it? Fuck, I lost the train of thought. I'm big. It's okay. So I really am. I fucking smoked that shit out of that hell. I was like, damn. But anyways, fucking. So like, I mean, definitely, whenever you're a kid, you like go through hella fucking things that you're like fucking feeling. Like you're like, oh, I want to be this one day. You want to be this one day. And at the end of the day, you gotta support your kid. Like, bro, I don't know how many things I did that were like stupid. At first, I wanted to be an astronaut. Then like, I think I told you this the other day. I wanted to fucking play the violin, so my mom went and got a violin. I wanted to fucking be like a tuba, so she was like, "Am I gonna really have to buy a tuba?" Luckily, the school provided that hoe, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, I got saved." But like, I think I still bought like an $80 fucking mouthpiece, and she was just like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, that's expensive for like no reason." And then of course, like, I played sports my whole life, inside and outside of school. So like, man, the amount of money I can only imagine like she like spent on me just fucking like to do
Yeah,
sports and like
bro. I
extra
feel
shit
that.
outside of that. And then like my sister too. My sister would take fucking pitching lessons or not pitching lessons. My bad. She would take batting lessons so that way she could become like a better batter. Them hoes didn't help, but like that hoe stays like on here.
See, but that's the thing. Your parents, your mom, whoever, they
Exactly.
supported y'all in this. That's what I feel like makes a great parent, bro. Whenever I have kids, I want to be the same way. Like
Exactly.
even if I know you're not ever gonna be shit in the thing that you're trying to do, I'm gonna support you like you have the potential. For all I know, you could be the next fucking Pat Mahomes or the next like scientist. Like I'm gonna make sure that you have what it takes to pursue
To
that.
succeed, yeah, bro.
Yeah,
At the end of the day. Yeah, bro. Like I think something like my dad told me like it was like always important to me. He was like, "Yeah, like I'll back you up no matter what. Like just don't fucking lie to me. Like you know what I mean?" And I was like, "All right, bet." So like there was a couple times like I think there's like this one time like I was sitting in class and I'm just sitting there bullying right, and like the teacher just sends me outside and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, okay, so I walk outside. I sit outside. She hands me a paper, a blank paper, bro, mind that, and she's like, fill this out and then blah blah blah. And so I'm like, okay, and I'm sitting there. I fucking just sign my name and then I hand like I'm sitting outside and she goes, now go to the principal's office. So I'm thinking I'm getting in trouble for the class. I go
Uh,
down. This is despite the point, but I get in trouble for something completely different. So I come back to like class. He's like, I'm gonna investigate more. And then like later in the day, I get called back to the thing, and now I'm getting suspended because he's like, all right, this is the second time I've seen you today. Blah 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 blah.
what would you do? What you
Fucking the first one was this dude. Okay, so like it was like Red Ribbon Week, right? And I had taken my fucking hairpiece or whatever, right? Or not a hairpiece. Yeah, like it was crazy hair day, and I had like a little hair like thing, and someone stole that hoe from me and like wore that hoe all day instead of me, right? But like
Yeah.
I didn't catch that man all day. So like the next day, I forgot what the next day was, but he had it was the day after Halloween, so he had brought in something, and like he had a cat, so I walked with the cat, fucking broke the cat, threw it in the trash can. And I was like, "Fuck you, dog." I was like, "Don't fuck with me." So then next thing I know, that's what I'm getting called. Fucking the first time for was the cat. I'm like, man, fuck you, fuck the cat, like fuck all this, like why the fuck is the cat my fault? Like he stole my hat, and he's like, he's not even worried about the hat. He's like,
Yeah,
but
they
you
only
took her
care
thing.
about
And
yeah.
bro, this man tried to tell me that the parents were all worried about the cat, that they already had talked to the mom, and the girl like made a complaint. I'm like, bro, this bitch is just trying to get me suspended, bro. Like, you know what I mean? For like no
Uh,
fucking reason. So then I come back down seventh period now, and it's for the original time that like the teacher had sent me out with the paper, and I'm like, so what am I here for? And he's like, she said that you called him a bitch or whatever, blah 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 blah. So I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't like say shit. Like, so I'm
yeah, I
over there
was
like,
chilling.
I was like, I was literally sitting down and I just got sent out of class. Like, you know what I mean? So fucking my dad comes in that hole like fucking cussing this nigga out. Like, it's like, fuck you, dude. Like, you can't just fucking suspend him. Like, I can hear him on the phone, bro. He's on the phone. Like, I can hear him screaming through that hole. And like, maybe like not even an hour later, he pulls up to the school because like I had to go to detention. And he's like, he comes in that hole furious, man, screaming in his face again. He's like, you're not gonna fucking suspend him for no fucking reason. He goes, you're gonna go in there and talk to the fucking teacher, blah 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 blah, and you're gonna get everybody's fucking opinion and like all this shit. And like went down, like it went down in that office, and he's like,
Uh,
you're not gonna fucking get him in trouble for the cat either because he's like, that's not his fault. Where's his fucking hairpiece? Blah blah blah. Like starts going in. And I was like, hell yeah, fuck this dude. Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? He had my back from
you're
like
like
everything.
that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, so man, like, eh, fuck this. Like, and so fucking he's like, all right, well he has to spend the next day in ISS for fucking the stupid cat, I guess. And I was like, bro, fuck you, but I guess
yeah,
I
like
it's a chill day,
whatever.
right? Like you just hang
Yeah.
out in there all day. I think we fucking played. Someone had a video game, bro. Like too, like
No, it was
I
like
was like, damn,
it
bro.
wasn't the worst thing in the
I was like,
world.
I should come back here. I'm fucking weak. So, anyways, fucking, I'm sitting there, and then I get called in maybe like fifth period, like sixth period, like almost like at the end of the day, and he comes in and he goes, so I went in there and I talked to all the students, and everybody said that you didn't say anything, and I was like, yeah, bro, fuck
Yeah,
you,
I was
my
like, and you
dad,
were
bro,
ready to
yeah,
suspend me.
exactly, that's
You
the
could have
first thing
just
my
went up,
dad
yeah.
said. He came in, he was like, and you were ready to suspend him and blah blah blah, bro, and he's like, how do you fuck do you feel, bro? Fuck that dude, bro. I seen him at
Yeah,
Olive
bro.
Garden, bro. I fucking. He went to my table. He's like, "Here's one of my best students, Brian." I was like,
I was
"Bro,
like, man,
fuck
I
you, dog."
oughta,
I was
yeah, I
like,
oughta slap you.
"Yeah, bro." Bro, I was so mad, bro. I was like, "Here's your fucking new server. I'm gone, bro. I'm out. Peace." Like, I could not do it no more, bro. I was like, "Man, fuck this dude. Fuck all this. I'm out." But,
Yeah.
bro, parents, bro, that fucking started from that hoe. But yeah, man, had my back. Fucking, that's one of like the number one times, and it's like it shows a lot because then like in the future, you know, like whenever you have a problem, bro, I got stranded in the fucking highway and this man pulled up for me too. So like, respecting parents and like having a good parent is definitely a big
It's a
fucking.
big thing nowadays. The sad part is though, not everybody has a good parent, and parents that support them in the things that they want to do. That's a key thing. Want parents support them like what they want their kid to do. A lot of parents like to live their like childhood shortcomings through their kids. They want to make sure
Understand.
their kids doing this and doing that because that's what they wanted to do with their lives. They didn't get to. So they were like, "Oh, I want my kid to go do that," even if it's not what their kid wants to do. That's kind of yeah.
You ever had that, huh? Like the low key, like my dad, like he didn't really like do it too much, but you can definitely see like where he kind of wanted me to go. You know what I mean? You ever feel that, huh?
I feel like I did, but then looking at it now, I probably not. Like my dad, when he was my age, he played like college basketball. He played college football. He didn't go pro or anything. That like wasn't his goal, but he was in sports like professionally. He like growing up, I played sports back to back to back, like soccer, football, basketball. It was always nonstop.
True.
See, I don't know if he was like, okay, I enjoyed it, but I don't know if he was like making me do this in hopes that I'm like, oh, I want to go off and play college basketball. I want to go off and play college football, or if he was just having me in there because I like sports, he likes sports.
Sure.
But that's the thing. When I stopped playing sports, he always knew that I was smart.
True.
So so he was like, "Oh, I don't care if y'all play sports. Like, I don't care, man. Like, cause I do good in like school. I do good in the other things that I like try. Like I do things like he didn't go to a 4 year school. He didn't do that kind of stuff. But me, I ended up going to like an actual 4 year college. My brother did the same thing. He's still proud of us for that. He's still to this day, even if we're both like we're not grown, but like we're older. We're not children no more. He'll still support us in everything that he that we tell him like, hey dad, this is what I like to do. He'll be like, okay, bet. Like my older brother, he likes to take photos. He likes cameras and stuff. My dad will buy him a brand new lens, bro, thousands of like dollars. He'll make sure that he has it so that way he can do the best at what he likes to do.
Damn.
That support, bro.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, it. It's not even about what he wants to do. It's just about like he wants to make sure that we're happy, bro. And I'm like, that shit's real.
That's just lit, bro.
Yeah.
That's what's up. But you are a big disappointment. You're 6'6" and you don't fucking hoop, bro.
Nah. Hell no, bro.
I'm just fucking
Yeah, I
with
would
you.
be like, fuck that.
Nah, but it's just funny because both of y'all are like tall as fuck, but both of y'all are very smart and fucking like
Mm.
good at like different things. So it's like it played out.
It
Yeah.
plays out, yeah. You
That
know, if I do, I always think back. Okay, what if I did play like basketball my entire life? What if I did play football or this or that? But
true.
you can't think about that
That's
kind
what
of
dreams
stuff.
are for.
Yeah,
You
like
sleep on them hoes, like yeah.
you can't
You
think
fucking,
about that kind of
yeah. You
stuff.
can't kind of think about that kind of
Cause
shit.
if you're like, oh yeah, what if I did play basketball? I got to like fucking college. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna take me somewhere. I don't get fucking drafted. You know how hard it is to get
Hell yeah.
drafted. I
At
know
least you
for
got your school paid for. At least at the
yeah,
end
I
of the
know
day,
for a
or
fact,
depending.
100% fact. If I played college sports, I'm not. That's not the end goal. Is me making it pro.
Bro, because there's
Yeah,
that 1%, and you're like,
that's
what
that
is
one
that 1%?
percent.
You really gotta like love that hoe like on a different level.
I
Like
thought
from
that
like day one, like
yeah,
you gotta know.
you gotta be in the camps, you gotta be in all that shit. I thought
Yeah.
that and too, like I thought that like I was tall growing up. I was like they had me out here fucking playing like damn center and shit in like the little leagues, like the other leagues growing up. I
Yeah.
figured out like I stopped fucking growing one day. I'm like 6'4". I'm like damn, I'm tall. Then you get to like college, 6'4" is like fucking. That's like they
It's
got
like a
point
point
guards.
guard. Yeah, you're
I
like just a
never played
little
a
point
point
guard.
guard. I never played point guard a day in my life. You think I'm gonna,
Yeah, you think I'm gonna just mix
yeah.
it up?
So that whole scheme was kind of fucked from the start. Cause like my dad probably should have known. He's about my same height, a little bit shorter. He was like, damn, I don't think he's gonna grow up to be 6'9", fucking power forward. Like
For the like.
he should have had me playing guard. But that's a different story.
That's a whole nother
Yeah,
story.
that's just like that's life,
That's such a weird like fucking like way of thinking. I think like the dude that we went to school with, he's only 6'6". Maybe he's gotten a little taller, but he was like 6'6", and like they had him playing power forward center, and like he could low key shoot, and it's like man, y'all should have had this man just doing everything. He's 6'6", he could have been like goddamn Manu Ginobili running up and down that court. You know what I mean?
Uh
Like
huh.
that. Like yeah, like they were aiming for him to be like maybe like a power forward, but like and so he like trained all this time to be a power forward. And I think even in college, like you see the way he plays, and he kind of plays like a power forward. But like, man, that dude should be a fucking slashing guard at 6'6".
Yeah,
You
I
know
was
what I
like,
mean?
he's not
He's
as big
yeah,
as he thought he was
as
gonna be.
yeah. So he's playing a big body like person, and like there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you know,
If you can hoop, you
if
can
you can
hoop.
hoop, if you can, yeah, exactly. Like at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. But if you would have like from the beginning molded him into like something better or something like that, you ever like do camps or anything like that whenever you were young?
I did, yeah. I did do local camps. Nothing too like crazy, but we for sure were in a few camps
That's what's up.
growing up. And yeah, I like the support. I like that I got to do those kind of things.
But
Even
that's
if
not
they
what.
didn't lead to like to where you wanted to be, it was like he was still like trying to at least like, okay, I'm gonna send him to get better. I want him to hone his skills in this thing. If at the time it seemed like basketball was my dream. Oh, I like basketball, Dad. He had me doing that, so I was like, it's
True.
pretty cool.
So you got like a dream you're working towards now, or like you just kind of
Not
rolling with the punches.
necessarily a dream. I know what like at the end of the day I know what I like want to do. Like I know despite what I like do because with my certain majors like the career field is very like expansive. It's a wide range of the things I can do with these degrees, but at the end of the day all I want to do is just make sure that I can help others, bro. Like with whichever job I fall into, I want to make sure that I'm helping other people who don't have the same benefits that I did growing up. I want to help them live a better life.
Of course.
I want to help give back. That's all it is.
Most definitely.
If I can make pretty good money doing that and helping others, I feel like it's not even work at that point. It's something that you like to do.
True.
It's gonna be a passion.
I was listening to something on the other day. That's a good word? A passion, I guess, is a better word to say it. But they were like, they need a better word for like a job. Like people, like you don't go to a job. Like if you're a rapper, that's not like it's a job, but it's not like working. You're not working.
Yeah,
Like you got bitches, you got money, you're living in a nice house, you like do things, and you enjoy that hell. Like you know what I mean? Like you really enjoy what you're
that's
doing.
yeah.
So like that's not like it's working, but like they
It's a
need like
different kind of work.
it's a different kind of work, and like passion I guess is like a good word. But man, like when you find that thing, like that's so crazy. And like to think that some people have like found that hell like so young, like those are like the lucky few, because I feel like
Oh
a lot
yeah,
of people like in our like in your, especially in your 20s, you get really lost. You're like you're like so minded into like one way, and then like right about like that like 18-20 mark, whenever you're like, oh shit, I actually have to start like
sure. I
becoming an
started
adult,
looking
you're
at
like,
yeah.
damn, like either that seems like you really don't want to put enough like work into one thing, because you're like, that's just not what I like, or you put enough work and you're like, I don't know, maybe I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's hard to find things that you're passionate with. For some, of course, it stands out from like when they're children, but it's not always like that. Sometimes you could be overlooking something that you didn't even know was your passion until you like spend a little bit more time doing it. You're like, I really enjoy this. Or you won't find your passion until years and years down like the road. When you could be 30, you could finally figure it out, man. I really love to garden. I want to garden and be a farmer or something like. That's the
Definitely.
thing. It's never too late. People like to stress themselves and like rush into things like, oh, I have to have it all figured out. I have to have my passion, my goals, everything. I'm like, man, like you see people who be like 65, they find a new hobby that they didn't do before, and they like, bro, I love this hobby. This is what I like to do. It took you
Most
65
definitely.
5 years to figure this out, but like they're still doing it because that's what they like.
True. That's a good point. But I think the like maybe not the goal, but like like the reasoning. Everyone wants to find that like that. I guess it's happiness, right? Everyone wants to find happiness,
Yeah,
anyways. So they know like if like they find that job like the sooner the like better, and you get to do with happiness for the rest of your life, or like what you would presume happiness, which is like another different concept because we all like presume happiness in a different way, like you were saying. Like
Uh-huh.
in other countries, like we I guess as people in America, we presume having like a good job, a nice family, like that's like happiness.
That's
Where
not,
like
yeah.
in other places, I mean, I guess that's a world thing. Like everyone loves their family and stuff.
Everybody wants to be stable.
That's a good, yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants to like worry. That's I feel like, you know. But
I think that's a mindset, wouldn't you say?
yeah,
Though?
it's a mindset because like there are people who I would presume have it all. They're rich. They got the big house, all that, and they're not happy with their lives, or like they have it all but they feel empty in a different like mental space. And
Rapper, like I don't know why that's a big thing in rappers, but like you always see
yeah,
that in
you see like or like the certain like movie stars, pop stars, singers, rappers, anything who are like, oh, like we, you know, glamorize their lifestyle. Oh, they're doing,
in so
they got
much.
it all, and then deep down, this person's going through it. He's fucking drinking every night, and
Like we were talking
like,
about the Michael Jackson intake, bro. That's like a ridiculous amount of things. Like you're so numb to everything, and it's like he had probably reached like such a high point. And then like we were watching the Elton John one too. Like
yeah,
that dude's taking a lot of stuff.
that was crazy.
That one was pretty good. I really like the fucking movie too. But like you can only imagine how many like these people are taking. Mac Miller, like that dude was off the shits all the time. Fucking rest in peace, Mac Miller. But like, dog, like these people are like they just life is so differently. Like other people perceive them so differently too. That it's like it's just like on a different level, almost godlike sometimes.
Yeah, like they legit idolize these certain people, you know, but we think that they have it all. We want to switch spots with them in life, but we don't know what they're going through. That's what you think that they have it all, but he's low key, he's battling depression every single day
Yeah.
of the week. I'm like, damn, we don't know that until it's too late, till something
Till
happens.
some yeah, till it goes. Low key, we all knew, but like, damn, bro,
Well, we
like
all knew,
it's
but
like
I never thought it was
I
gonna
feel,
get that far,
you know,
bro.
like what can we do? Like we're
He doesn't know me.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't, you know what I mean? Like we were all there for him. I feel like I don't know as fans.
Yeah, but sometimes
Fucking, it's
that's
just
just
not
not enough.
enough. Yeah, bro,
Yeah,
you
it's
need
just not
that more
enough.
intimate, like kind of love, bro.
That's the thing. It's
That's a
like,
necessity.
yeah, like that's just what it is, bro. It's sometimes it's just not enough, and that's okay. It's okay. It happens, but like
True.
we can't predict those kind of things.
Yeah, love is kind of a weird thing. You ever been in love?
Honestly, I don't know, bro.
That's a good point too. Do
Yeah,
you ever know?
that's the thing.
I don't know.
How do you
How do you
know?
judge love? I think that's like a self thing. You're like, low key, I was in like love with this person, or like blah blah blah.
See, that's the thing, bro. I've felt very strongly towards a few people in my life, but if you go look today, like I'm not like dating them. I'm not married to them. So how do I know if it was love or not? I when I think love, I think like this is a person that like that you chose to be like you're attached to this person. Y'all are like it's an unbreakable bond type shit.
That's true too. No, yeah, that's feel that I feel your point there. How you feel about like loving multiple people then? Like you feel like you can love multiple people because I don't know. I feel like that's just like a broad spectrum of that. But I feel your point too because then like maybe like it wouldn't be like that like if you were actually in love. Like you'd be like
Exactly.
it'd be like that one person and you'd be like,
You'd be
bro,
like,
like
oh, I thought that
I
thought
like
I
was
knew
in love.
what
What
love
love
was
was,
until you
yeah,
met somebody. You're like, damn,
someone else.
this is some way beyond, you know. But that's the thing. I feel like you can have love for a lot of people, a lot of different things.
True,
But to be in love is a whole different.
like true love.
Yeah, that's a whole different concept. Yeah, cause
That's a
like
real fucking like slippery slope,
it's
honestly
very
though. But
slippery
like
slope.
that, yeah, because it's like, who are you to say like what love is from like the outside, especially like looking in. You know what I mean?
Uh huh.
Whenever like you see other people, like you're like, bro, you don't love him, like you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like I feel like a lot of people go through that, like especially whenever they first start dating, or you're like we personally both know people who like we met who like are fairly new like to a relationship, and they're like in love, or like they get married in a little bit, or like I can only imagine how much like little time they've actually spent together, and it's like, like they've already taken that hoe to the next level, like kind of like on a different like wavelength or something. So that's definitely like a weird like thing. But like, who are we to say like if they're in love or not? And it's, I guess that's not for us to like fucking say.
Yeah, bro. Like, you can't decide like, oh, that person doesn't like that person doesn't love him. Oh, she doesn't love him. We don't know what they feel. You know,
Yeah.
like they could be in love with each other, but it's not what we would define love as. So we're like we doubting their love, we're doubting their emotions, but for each and every person, love could be a different thing, you know.
True. You ever heard of that like what love languages are, bro?
Yeah, for sure.
True. I don't fucking know all of them, but like.
Oh yeah, I don't know them all, but
But like, yeah, bro, that's like a
I
weird
know
kind.
mine. Like,
Yeah, like I don't mind. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of a weird concept too. So like, it's kind of weird. Like, you would have to find someone too who like enjoys giving like your kind of love language and like receiving your kind of love language. Because like, I don't know if it's just like me. Do you feel like you're the same kind of like love language both ways? Like, or do you enjoy getting like loved one way and then you enjoy loving someone else a different way?
yeah, bro. Like, that's the like cool thing behind it. There's different love languages. We all like don't share the same exact few that you like, you know.
Yeah.
And I've like learned that for like me, like I could like physical touch and like things like that, but to somebody else, to some other girl or something, she could she could like receiving gifts. That's her thing. She doesn't like physical touch. Like I
Uh
mean,
huh.
she does, but that's not what like gets her. She likes to receive gifts. Me, I don't really like gifts. Gifts are cool, but I don't like to see people spend money on me. So that's not my thing. That's not what like excites me, you know. But it's two different people, two different mindsets.
True. I have this really weird mindset. I think it's weird, but like, maybe I just think it's weird because maybe I'm just fucking weird. But like, I think my love language is like, I think one of them was like time. Like,
Oh yeah, like the quality time.
maybe not even quality
Not
time.
quality
Like,
time.
like it is quality time, but like, I mean like on a personal thing. Like, I don't give a fuck like what we're doing. Like, as long as like we're just like there, bro. Like, you know what I mean? As long as like
No,
you're spending
yeah,
your
I
time
think
with
that's the
me.
quality time. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
I guess
I'm
it's
the
like
same way.
quality time too.
Yeah,
But like, yeah, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck if you buy me gifts. I don't get like a shit about anything else. But like, if you're like dedicating your actual time to me, like, time is money. Time is everything, man. Like, we only have so much time. So if you're giving me your time, that shit means more than
more than anything. Yeah,
anything. Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
same. Like me, I like physical touch. I like to like be able to like touch the person that I like or like love. And then yeah, quality time is also very big for me. Like we don't have to be doing anything grand. We could be sitting at home watching movies.
Exactly.
As long as you're spending time with me,
Uh huh.
I'm like, wow, this person made some time
To
to
like,
do this
yeah,
with me,
to like, yeah,
and then I
exactly.
made time to hang out with them, and like we're both happy with that. That's
Yeah.
that's that's big. I don't care about the gift,
Yeah.
things like
I
that.
I think me and like personally my girlfriend are the fucking worst, bro. Like, I think recently we started buying each other gifts just because we're like, oh, like it's kind of like a thing. But like at first, bro, like fucking like nothing, bro. Like just like whatever. I'd be like, oh, bag of chips, head ass. Fucking,
Bag of
but
chips,
like,
oh.
yeah, like you know what I mean. Like just like little things, and like personally, I like. Bro, like I wouldn't care to spend money. Like I'd rather like we go spend the money together or whatever. So
Yeah.
like little things are fine with me, like whatever. But like yeah, bro, big gifts. I don't know what it is. It's just not my forte. You ever had a surprise party though?
Nah, bro. We ain't never had a
Damn,
surprise
bro.
party. Is that the move or what? Like,
Now I can't. Now it's not.
oh yeah, no.
I feel
Like
like
a surprise party could be deaf right now, so I don't know about
I
that.
forgot that your hoe was so close. I was like, man, if it was a little bit further, you would have forgot or something like that. But nah, bro, I low key threw like a fucking couple's like surprise parties back in the day. Those hoes are like, I don't know.
I've been a part of them, but I never had one done for myself. That's yeah. It's
Shit.
they're cool.
Yeah, I mean, if like the person genuinely surprised, it's kind of like disappointing whenever like the person shows up and
they're like, man, I was tired.
man,
I
what the
thought I was
fuck?
gonna go
Yeah.
home and chill. Now I got a party. Like, yeah,
Nah, yeah, you've been a part of that too, where they're
yeah.
like, bro,
They're
I'm
just
not
like,
irritated with the
haha. I'm
day, and
like,
you're like,
damn.
ooh,
Should I do it? Like, what do I
should we
do?
all go home?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
bad.
I've definitely been like
Uh,
on both spectrums. Well, not on both spectrums, like where I've been like mad, but like
yeah, if somebody threw a party for me, I would, even if I didn't want to like
be
be
there,
there,
you'd be happy as
I would
fuck.
have to turn it up. Yeah.
Yeah, low key, you have to like
Uh,
just because like those are people like we were saying like they fucking
they took
dedicated
some
their time,
time.
they fucking showed up, they all were like there, they planned it out, fucking somebody planned it out, someone fucking loved you a lot more, and they sat there and planned that out. You know what I mean?
Uh,
So that shit's like really crazy. Fucking, I don't know. You got any big plans for your birthday coming up?
bro, yeah. I don't know, man. I really want to travel. That's something that I want to do. My birthday weekend. You know,
True.
like every year these past few years, my birthday week and weekend has been like it's always a big event. Usually,
Cause spring break too,
because
right?
usually, yeah, my birthday falls right before spring break, March 6th. So it's like it's lit. I usually have
Oh,
class.
happy birthday.
I usually have class, you know, that week, but it's always like, okay, we got a few short things. Spring break's gonna start. But I'm not gonna make y'all do nothing crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then that like Thursday, that's the last day of like school. You go out to the club Thursday night, back when the clubs were popping and safe to go to. If you're still going out to nightclubs, you should
True.
rethink that. But and then Friday is like the weekend starts and it gets lit, all that. And then the weekend we usually go to the beach. We've been to South Padre a few times.
Padres definitely the move.
That's a few days after my birthday. It's always lit, you know. But I think I want to travel somewhere. I don't know where. Miami, possibly.
That's a good option. There's a lot of COVID out there, but
There's a
like
lot of COVID out there. I feel like I
I
can
think
protect myself.
yeah, I think that's what it really comes down to. I mean, COVID's COVID. At the end of the day, we've been doing like all this protection, but it honestly comes down to yourself. Like you can do all that protection and still get COVID if you like just run into like the wrong person at the fucking store, right?
Yeah.
So like that self like fucking one is the only way to like guarantee like you know that yourself like you're fucking good like
The
you're all
most you
set.
like the most you can do is try to protect yourself at all costs. Like I still have to go to work and like I have to work a job around a whole lot of these
Of other
motherfuckers.
people anyways,
At my
yeah.
job, these customers they be fucking Trump fruits and shit. They don't be wearing their masks sometimes. It's okay. Yeah, I mean it's not, but like I'm not gonna force you to wear a mask. I'm wearing my mask
Yeah.
and I'm gonna sanitize and wash my hands and not be near you as much as I need to be.
Anywhere near
Like
them, right? You're
yeah.
like fucking I'm on the other side of the store
Yeah,
kind of shit.
I'm like, bro, this is the way that you chose to go live your life. I'm continue to try to live mine and be safe. So it's like that's all I
Definitely.
can do.
Yeah, that's really all you can do, honestly. And bro, you seen man, I saw this like a couple weeks ago, but you seen those people, the anti-maskers, they like ran through a whole
Who
mall
ran
and
through the
shit.
mall was like trying to fuck people up and
Yeah, fighting people, and it's like for what? Like, what is the reasoning, man?
that shit's embarrassing. It's
Yeah,
like why? Why are
honestly.
you trying to force that amongst us? Oh, well, I mean, I guess they can see the same way as we're trying to force a mess upon them, but like, you got people dying out here, man.
Definitely. And like it's so weird to like man, even some of your friends, like the way they think you're like talking to them about it and they turn it up and they're like, bro, fuck a mask, bro, like this and that and you're like, yo dog, like damn, like where's
It's,
the
it's always like that. You be like, yeah, bro, we're all on the same page. He's like, man, fuck a mask. I'm about to go in without it. You be like, what you mean about to
what
do?
you
You be like, wait, what? Like,
he's like, bro, I already had
I
COVID. And
already
you're
had
like
COVID. I'm like, when?
you're like,
You didn't tell
wait.
me about this. I
Exactly.
ain't had it yet. Like,
Man, bro, I've never had something as crazy as there was a girl at my work. She fucking showed up to work, damn well knowing she had COVID. Like, bro, I work in food, bro, for now, right?
yeah.
And like, yeah, like how many people did she fucking infect? Like, what the fuck? Like, what kind of state of mind? Like, what's going on in your head that you're like, oh yeah, let me like pull up to work because that's like a genius idea. Whenever I have fucking
Yeah, when you
COVID,
know that there's a chance that like, oh, I don't know what I have, but I'm pretty sure I have COVID. You know?
yeah, like a 99. There's like a 90. It's like a basically like a 99% chance you have COVID. Then like why even like be the one to be like
Yeah.
take a risk? Like why take a risk? Like there's no.
You're not getting paid that much, like to have
Yeah.
to risk somebody's life, especially if you're around the food. It's like, bro, people come to restaurants to trust that like, oh, the people making my food don't have
Don't
fucking COVID.
don't have COVID. They're like the good people. They're the
Yeah,
fucking
they're the ones doing shit right. You see somebody like, fuck it,
bro.
I have COVID. I'm making food. I'm like, damn.
I hope this hold on backfire me, but between you and me, bro, like you know how like a lot of restaurants they take the temperature every day and stuff like that.
Uh huh.
Nah, fuck no. We don't get no temperature check, no nothing. We just be
A lot
walking.
of places don't, bro.
You don't get temperature,
I
but
don't
like
give it a check on my
you're
job.
not touching food though, bro. Like you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Uh
Like
huh.
I seen it at like Whataburger. I was moving at Whataburger one night, and I was just like, the dude was get like there was like 3 or 4 people just standing there, like what the fuck's going on, right? And they're all waiting just to get scanned, like they were looking for a thermometer to scan them.
That's the
And
thing. I feel like that shit doesn't even do nothing, bro. Cause like there's a lot of people who have COVID, they don't got no sort of fever. So if you're checking them, they were like, oh, it's at 98.7. He's straight. You go inside and infect the whole fucking restaurant. Like,
that's a good fucking
I mean, yeah,
chance too.
but that kind of shit makes like they make people feel safe. Makes us feel like they have it under control. But in reality, we don't. That's why they're like, you know, that's why they have to do these kind of things to feel like they have some sort of control over the situation. But it's a lot bigger than you and me. We wear a mask, we protect ourselves. But to know that there's like 500,000 other dudes in this nation who are like, fuck masks, I don't wear no mask. Like,
I don't want to wear no mask. Exactly. That's
yeah,
kind
so
of
it's like, okay, if you feel like, oh, like, I'm not gonna wear a mask, I'll wear, it's not doing nothing, I'm only one person. Times that,
by
like,
like
if like there's one person like you doing that, there's more people like you doing that, and together y'all all make up like, oh, I don't give a fuck if I infect and kill somebody. So that's like,
most definitely, bro.
wear your fucking mask.
Hell yeah. You want to talk about fucking what is it called, like karma and shit about wearing masks, bro? So my fucking girlfriend's sister, she was over there one day dogging on like masks. She's like, I don't know what all the fuss is about COVID. Like, it's already been like blah 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 this long, and she's like, people like this and that, like every like kind of excuse like you could think of, and like I look at her like dead ass in the face, and I like tell her, you do realize like there's other people in your house. You have a fucking child, right? You have a fucking child, and like the child lives in your house. Like you come home with COVID, he's gonna get fucking COVID. Like and then like her dad like butted in and was like, I don't have a fucking good breathing shit either, so I'm gonna fucking like basically die too if I get
Yeah.
COVID. And she just kind of like shut the fuck up, and I was like, and she's like, well, I still think blah blah blah. I'm like, oh my
I'm
god,
like, why are you so
why
selfish?
why are you like so selfish? Like why are you so adamant on getting your point across? Fucking fast forward like maybe like a couple months ago, maybe like 2 months ago, maybe even just a month ago, like maybe New Year's. They fucking got COVID, bro. Her fucking baby had COVID, bro, and it's like
That's sad.
it's sad as fuck, but it's like, bro, instant karma. It's like I fucking like, bro.
I kind of believe
I
you.
looked at my fucking girlfriend and I just straight up told her, I was like, I don't know how else to fucking tell you this, but like that's like instant karma. Like I literally had just told her the other day, like, look, you don't understand. Like this is like a broader spectrum, but her fucking her other sisters, but my girlfriend has too many sisters. Her other sister, she works like in retail, so like at fucking Home Goods, and people be shopping way too much at fucking Home Goods, you know. That whole low key hit, but like,
Yeah, home goods is free
and,
life.
and like you know what I mean. That's just like, damn, bro. Like there's no other thing to call it except for karma. Like you were over there saying like this and this, and it's like, bro, a week too later, bro, you're sitting there having to take your baby to the hospital. Your sister had that hoe. Your mom now had that hoe. Like,
That's the thing, bro. Cause like
and that just shows how much it spreads too,
that's the
bro.
scary part, bro. Like you you never know how it's going to affect
An
somebody else.
individual, yeah.
Cause like some people they like get it, they're like, oh man, I had to just stay in the house for 10 days. I was fine. My nose was burning or something, but I was good. Somebody else, the same age, they fucking have that shit. They can't breathe. They can't fucking sleep without like, oh, I might choke on
Yeah.
some shit and like I have to wake up in pain or
True.
and then like there's been some like people who like after they do get it, they have some sort of like long lasting damages. Like that shit fucked up their fucking lung, their fucking eyes, their like just because they had it.
Yeah.
That shit's crazy to me. I honestly, I don't know if I've ever had it. I do want to take like a little test to see if I had like the cells
The
to fight it,
cells.
like the
Oh, okay.
antibodies. I I want to do that to know if I ever had it, but until then, I'm gonna act like I never did. I'm gonna take those kind of precautions.
And you see, that's kind of a weird thing because like we're 20 years old, so like we're in prime health condition. You're probably in better health than me. I'm fucking fat and chunky, but like you know what I mean? Like you and me both work like outside. We see a lot of people. I fucking worked in a liquor store and I was working at a restaurant, and it's like people in the restaurant, none of them wear a mask. I mean, pointed, we all see the same like 6 people every single fucking day. You know what I mean? So it's like
Uh,
okay, one of us doesn't get it, but like the other day there was that one girl who had it, and then one of the like two of my other friends have had it, but they just so happen to not infect anybody else. You know what I mean? And is it like you can say, oh well, that's the mask, right? Because like I personally wear my mask when I want to work, while they don't. You know what I mean? And maybe that's why he got it. Well, it was also in his house. His dad fucking had it. So like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
that whole like is easier to contract in a house, but it's like even like with or without a mask, like I think he wore his mask most of the day, but like you know what I mean, that's why no one else got infected. So like you can
Uh,
like contribute like, oh yeah, the mask did a good job and like did his job, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? That's why we're still wearing masks because like if he went in the whole restaurant, the other chick went in the whole restaurant and like nobody else got that hoe, then like we can say like, oh yeah, like that hoe's good, but on the other hand, like you say, like we had to either you or I or like one of us, we probably either been around that hoe like so close, or we've already
uh,
fought it off, like and we don't even know. You know what I mean? Like our
yeah.
bodies, like we can be asymptomatic too, and that's like the thing about bringing it home to your parents, my parents, like they're all older, they all have like different underlying health disease, and that's the thing
Exactly.
about like taking it home and like our health's at fucking like 80
Yeah.
90%.
That's the thing too. It's like I try to get tested weekly because there's some days because that's my like biggest fear is if I don't show any symptoms and I'm like, oh, I don't have COVID, I feel fine, and I go back home to my parents who like half the people in that house they got something wrong with them. So it's like
Yeah.
if I do pass it on to them and Lord forbid something happened, I'm gonna feel like fucking shit.
Yeah.
So it's like I like okay. How do you feel about that those new vaccines coming out, bro? What do you think about those?
So, man, at work they be like talking all this shit and they be saying like, "Oh, bro, like you're gonna grow like another year, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Damn, bro." I was like, "I don't know what y'all think's in this shit," but like, I've fucking I've been watching a different podcast or like listening. Fucking, you can't watch that hell. But I've been listening to a different podcast and they had like a guest on and he was over there talking about like what the vaccine was before they had even approved the vaccine like
Mm-hmm.
recently. So he was like, "Oh, there's this one that's actually like the real better one because of like what's in it." He goes, "It's nothing. It's not. We're not. They're not giving you COVID. What they're giving you is antibodies that are already in your body that build whenever you get COVID. So they're just giving you those antibodies already, or not really doing that, but they're activating those antibodies early in your
Mm-hmm.
body to start getting it moving so that way if you do get it you're like your body's quicker to react to it, right? So that's basically what it is, and it's like a 2 section shot and he's like, yeah, it's really good, it gives you like strong like doses and it gets stronger or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's supposed to really help like boost your basically it
Your
just boosts
immune,
your
yeah.
immune system, yeah. And so it's like why wouldn't you take that whole like if that's all it's gonna do, like you know what I mean? Before then I was kind of like a little bit more skeptical. I'm like, man, you know,
Same.
it's kind of a little iffy, like especially with like that technology that they've been coming out with like the brain shit, bro. That shit's on another level. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
what makes you think that they don't have like another fucking? Well, like here's the thing too. Like here's where you see like the reality of things. Why the fuck waste millions of dollars to like inject everybody when you have a fucking tracking device right here that tells you everything they fucking need to know, and you paid for that shit yourself? You know what I mean? So that's like
Uh,
the bigger reality is like, you know what I mean? Like they don't need to the government or anybody doesn't need to waste money on fucking like sticking you with a vaccine that's gonna fucking have like a tracking device or some kind of
yeah.
weird shit.
And a lot of like people think that they're like, oh, like they're gonna track us, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, out of all the people in the world, what the fuck makes you think that you're so cool that they have to know where you're at?
At all
You
times.
don't do jack shit. Like, why do they? Why do you feel like, oh, you're important enough to be tracked by the fucking government? You
But
know they gotta chase fucking terrorists and shit.
you would assume that, but bro, we are tracked every day, bro. Your phone gives like your phone's like such a fucking an anti-privacy thing, bro. Like we feel like we have so much privacy, but you, man, it tells you everywhere you've been, how long you've been, your daily routine, things you fucking search for, what you're trying to buy, blah blah
I
blah.
feel like that ain't even the worst thing in the world. It's like, okay, if the police or the government wanted to go find me, bro, they most definitely could. I'm like, what do I gotta hide from? You know?
That's true too.
Yeah, like what have I done to where like if I mean not what have I done? I've done some things, but if it was anything serious enough for them to come back before, they've had numerous chances.
That's true. It's like I'll be in the same spot every single day.
Yeah,
So if you're looking
they
for
know
me, you
where
know where
I'd
I'd be.
be. If there
Yeah.
was some problem to where like, oh, we gotta figure out where he's at, they could come back me up right now, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Fucking through the other like buildings windows, they fucking go in that hole and they just snipe you right
Yeah,
now.
like
They be like, he's in building one, fucking window two, fucking
yeah,
bah.
exactly. Like
Yeah,
that's not that. I don't even think about that.
that's light work for them, huh? But that's kind of weird. Like you were talking about yesterday, how like everything in Call of Duty is like 5 years, maybe 10 years old, bro. Like
No, yeah.
they don't be giving us no secrets to like what the fuck's really going on, bro. Behind the
Yeah,
bars.
like we might think that oh we're the top leading military we got all the technology they show us like a little like commercial look at this thing flounder you're like oh what is that you're like bro they just now we're like we can show that to them
Of course, of course. How you feel
yeah
about aliens, bro?
bro I fucking love it I think that they're out there I think they've always been here that for all I know they could be among us I'm not too sure about that one more so but I know they're out there they've been out here.
The
And the
pyramid.
government for sure knows about it and knows that they have contact with them. They just not telling us.
I believe that
Yeah.
100%. I believe, man. Imagine how many famous people like at the end of the day are fucking aliens or whatever. You need some water,
Yeah.
bro.
I'm fine, bro.
Oh, chill. I need some water. I'm fucking
Water break. Are we gonna take a
big.
water
Yeah,
break?
we'll fucking take a break. Until then, watch my YouTube video. Fuck it. There's one view anyway, so fucking. You can hear me fucking. My bad. I love you, dude. Bro, I hate that. Honestly, that's like not my biggest pet peeve, but it's like my biggest like not downfall, but like you do something and you're like, okay, I did it good like in this one little part, and then you fuck
you
up
fuck up like somewhere
somewhere
down the
else,
line.
right?
You're
And you're
like,
like,
fuck.
fuck,
I couldn't do one smooth take.
I couldn't do one swing take. All right.
It happens.
Alrighty, y'all. So sorry about that. We are back with El Zomar. He's gonna be coming around the podcast a lot more. This is a new podcast. It's gonna be called The Fucking Hell. No, we were doing so good, bro. Now it's gonna take like 100 takes.
Yeah, we're gonna have to take a lot of things.
Okay, we're at a minute, so we'll take off a minute. That's kind of easy for me to remember whenever you edit that. How I haven't tried to edit on here anyway, so. Alrighty, y'all, and we're back with El Zomar. We had some technical problems, but we're back. We're just wrapping some things up, but don't worry, we are going to be seeing a lot more of him. He's going to be coming around. We're going to be doing this podcast a lot more often. The higher calling it is, it's just going to be us chatting it up with the friends, with the boys, getting high, doing whatever, talking about things, and, just like see what their higher calling is, what the higher purpose is, and that's your boy Brian checking out for y'all, and this your boy.
And it's Omar, guys. Make sure to go like and subscribe to the page. You know, maybe you could interact with a whole lot of other stories coming on here. Everybody has their own higher calling. Let's just figure out what it is.
Alright, y'all. And if you do want to get viewed or be interviewed, or you think you got something that's worth sharing and you want to be on the podcast, go ahead and either follow me at BZ Zaragoza50 on Twitter, or follow Omar
At EL _Zomar.
Zomar. Alright, you heard it. EL _Zomar. Drop us a follow, a like. Also go follow the damn dude. Follow our Instagrams. Hit us up anyway. Y'all know how to slide in our DMs or messages. Tell us that you got something cool you're working on, something you feel like is your higher purpose or calling, and come be on the channel or on the show. We'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.
Peace.